Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, we are still doing our life coach training program, free life coach training program, and we are talking now about the mentoring module. So mentoring, we have discussed motivation, coaching. Now we are in mentoring, and inshallah when we finish this mentoring module, we will go into the counseling module. And in mentoring, we have our trust, T-R-U-S-T model. This is our model. T stands for trust. I've given you a lot of ideas on what it means by holistic integration of trust. And trust at the 5 levels, ourself, our family, our community, the world, the universe, at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how this circle of trust builds up towards the understanding of a holistic integration of the human self. Alright, so we have explained to you the trust model, and now we are at trust. T is for trust, the second one is R. R is for rapport, and I've given you the definition and some ideas of rapport. And then the synonym for rapport, that it is affinity, working together, genuine warmth, love, caring, understanding, companionship, empathy, and so on. And the holistic integration of rapport vis-a-vis the Islamic perspective of our holistic domain, that we have our SEMP, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical self, from the physical realm to our akal, to our heart and our spirituality. Our nafs is bonded together at a higher level of the characteristic of this human self. So rapport is just not talking about just the physical aspect, but also the integration of the 4 domains of our existence, inshallah, from the perspective of Islamic psychology. Remember, Islamic psyche, Islamic psychology, Islamic metaphysics. Okay, so when we talk about rapport, there are 3 things that we need to do. That means the holistic integration from the physical aspect, we can talk about body language, voice, and the other aspects. So we talk about body language first. Remember, the body language is how you as a mentor and your mentee interact. That means there is pacing, there is mirroring, and there's also the matching in terms of your body language. That's why sometimes when you go to a place where you meet somebody whom you do not know, but somehow you are already pacing him, and you find that there's an affinity. Not only the affinity from the Islamic perspective is that Rasulullah SAW has explained to us that some people have affinity. And in one of the hadith, the meaning of it is that at the rim of Alastu Rabbikum, or the rim of the, when we are at the rim of the spirituality, we already have met each other. Alright, so sometimes you meet somebody who, suddenly you have such affinity to them. Alright, or somebody you see with somebody you have a dislike for them. Alright, so there is certain aspect at the spiritual level, which I think we do not dwell too much, but at least we must know that the interconnection of our self, the rapport that we can build between us as a mentor and a mentee, sometimes there is a mismatch, and that mismatch not only from the perspective of the physical world, that means our body language, our voice, pacing, matching, and so on, but also there is a discontinuity or disquietude which we have to overcome as a barrier. And if that is a situation, then maybe there is a mismatch between mentor and mentee, then maybe we should find another mentor for that person who are having higher affinity at the level of spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical self. So at the physical self, when we talk about, say, rapport, we talk about body language. And body language consists of, first, posture. How you stand, how you act, alright, how you will affect your mentee. That means if you are high and mighty, you stand like this, and then you look down at mentee like that. So there is a, straight away the mentee feels small. Alright, your posture is inferior, superior to inferior. That means he is broken, he is hopeless, he is the inferior person, you are the high and the mighty. When you do that, then you either cow them down, they become your slave, or they just disregard you. And that situation will not work. That's why sometimes this happens between parent and child relationship. The parent, just like, I mean, it is our own weakness. For example, for me as a parent, I have taken more salt than you in life, all right? So I see myself as big, and I see my son or my daughter as small. This is a natural tendency, because sometimes they do things that are quite dangerous or nonsensical or something like that. So you tend to have this type of relationship. That's why in mentor-mentee relationship, father-son, or especially father-son relationship when they're teenager, is very, very difficult, where they go through this transformation from being a child to a teenager to adolescence. That will be a very, very difficult time, and that needs a lot of understanding. So the Sayyidina Ali says, for the 7 years you nurture them, next 7 years you educate them, the next 7 years you become their friend. So from 14 to 21, it is more like a friendship, not like father-son relationship. All right, or so in doing also, if you are a adolescent mentor and your mentee is a 14, 15 years old, you got to be very careful in the sense of your posture and how you posture yourself. Then you have your facial expression. Is your facial expression expressing your sincere desire to help them? So you're smiling, not you're frowning. You're building up the relationship in a way that mentee finds comfortable. All right, the way you do. Gestures, what are your gestures? Is it using a hand, that kind of thing? And I remember in our old madrasah system, I have my ustaz with a long cane, all right, and then you just, all right, so we are all just, you know, and it is no joke, okay, but that was a system long ago. I mean, as a child we go through that and we get bitten with this cane, but you can see that kind of situational condition in terms of psychology is no doubt it has a lot of disciplinary element, but it instills a lot of fear, instills a lot of what do you call it, non-conformance when the ustaz is not there, because when the moment the ustaz disappears, we all jump around, and you know that is a situation. So actually we have to be very careful in terms of how our gesture is with our mentee, and this is pacing and matching. You try to match their gesture. You lead the gesture, very nice gesture, so that they feel comfortable. If it is okay, you give them a hug as you start. You know, pacify them if they feel anxious, they feel having anxiety or depression. Giving them good sound words. Later on, explain. And then your dress. You cannot become a mentor if you are shabbily dressed in such a way that the person who is your mentee, he is dressed better than you. Not in the sense that dress is not important, it's important. There must be matching in a sense. So you have, what is important is that you have your body language in terms of your posture, facial expression, dress and gestures, matching and pacing with the person whom you are trying to mentor, your mentee. The next one is voice. Once you know about the body language, you have to use your voice. Voice can be very soothing and voice can be very intimidating. So you have your volume. Is it booming, you know, commanding, or is it inviting, gentle, soothing voice? All right. Then your timbre, your tempo. Is it very fast, very slow? And then your pitch. Okay. So this is where you have, in terms of mentor-mentee training, in terms of psychology, you have some sort of voice training. I'm not saying that you need to be a professional singer or an actor, but an actor is very good at, when you look at very good actors, you can see that they can mirror and match the person whom they are communicating with using their voice, and their voice can then win over, because your whole role is to win over your mentee so that they can understand that you are genuinely helping them in a way using your body language and your voice. Then the next one is words. All right, these are the three common elements insofar as you use common expression, especially if your mentee is a teenager and you are 60 years old man or 70 years old man. There will be a gap in terms of lingo. So that's where sometimes you have to find common ground and maybe learn a few of their because their lingo now is quite confusing. Good is bad, bad means good, you know, and it is the other opposite. So this is where we have to find out what is their current acronym and small shortcuts that they're using, and then maybe try to mirror those things in a way, not to the extreme. And then the key phrases in terms of the word that you use, always being reassuring, giving them hope. Don't run them down. And then you use clean language in the sense that the metaphor, the synonym, the kind of words that you use is something that they can appreciate. All right? There's no point that you go on and use all the terminology of psychology. You know, you have this problem, the background of your anxiety is because of this OCD and this OCD. That guy will go blank, all right? So you go into the whole theory. There's no purpose in it. But you are taking the gist of what you know in terms of your knowledge as a mentor to give them the whole understanding of this whole reality. So when we talk about words, body language, posture, remember, we are doing this not artificially. Remember, when we teach these things, don't think that this is an artificial thing. Oh, I must try to do this like an actor. No. There must be genuineness and love at the highest level, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this sincerity, this characteristic of sincerity. So we must manifest that sincerity. Only then can you reach heart to heart. Our qalb and the mental qalb can reach together. Our roh at a higher level and our mental roh can get together. Only then can be this rapport that is higher than just a physical rapport of just words, body language, and speaking. So this is where I think that the beautiful thing about this deen is that we have the most perfect approach to actually the whole problem of the world. All right, but since we understand that we have to work within the ummah, understand the purpose and meaning in life, remember, use our handbook. Inshallah, we have already uploaded the Indonesian version of Positive Islamic Psychology Handbook, the whole 600 page on our website islamicspsychology.net. If you are from Indonesia, anda boleh mengambil buku ini, e-book ini, dan download ke komputer laptop anda untuk guna sebagai textbook dan sebagai satu bahan pembelajaran dalam bahasa Indonesia. For those in English, inshallah, in about a month or 2 months time, I'll announce when we have uploaded this whole book as our gift to the ummah, as a way in which we hope to mentor you, though remotely, train you to become a life coach, free of charge, as part of our da'wah effort, the Khalifa Education Foundation and Islamic Psychology Center, so that we can hope that we can help shape the ummah to become a productive ummah, an achieving ummah, an ummah that fulfill our role as a true and sincere servant of Allah, always striving to make ourselves good, helping others to be good, making the world good, inshallah.